Is this chanting ever going to work? What is it going to take to get into contact with a powerful Juju spirit from another world?
Well, hello there, everybody, and welcome back. Today, we're going to be talking about two games that were near and dear at a certain time that deserve some kind of recognition or push to modern consoles, and that is Tag and its sequel, Tag 2. Granted, I didn't know there were a total of 4 titles, so I didn't play the other two, being Guardians of Gross and the Great Juju Challenge. I'm sticking to what I did play here and how much fun I actually had with these games. Now, the other two, they could be piles of shit, but we're going to be talking about the first two games. So, before TAC, as a trademark, got the branding from Nickelodeon, it was an honest title with a good release during the time that platformers were still ruling the world and doing relatively well. Games like Crash Bandicoot and Super Mario still rocking the stage. TAC was a release from THQ, inspired by Super Mario 64, Jak and Daxter, The Lost Vikings, among other games. The game had charm, a lot of comedy infused with it, which was inspired by the Looney Tunes, with its wild and zany characters, facial animations as far as reactions or how they said certain things, and to make the characters more likable amongst all ages.
Over being great and mighty, mighty and great. Great, great. Mighty, mighty, mighty. Great, great, mighty, mighty.
To be honest with you, I don't even remember Tag 2 having the Nickelodeon tag on it, but I was also a young little shit stain, so who actually knows? I'm probably just thinking of the first game and how it didn't have any cover art like that, and then the second game I just never really paid attention to other than him just holding the staff up. But either way, I guess there was also a TV show that revolved around Tag, which would have been cool to watch. I never really paid attention to that, but maybe we could do a reaction to it, or not, we will see. Going back to the games, that is what made them special, is the amount of personality they had, the way that the game was played, meaning like the control of it, the platforming aspect, and the puzzles that came with it. Even you, as a character, being Tag, had some quips and could keep up with the rest of the cast and crew. It didn't feel like some games that emulate it. You were really part of the ride, and it gave Tag as a character, well, some personality. And supposedly, as the game was being pitched to THQ, they accepted it and even took it a step further to bring it to Nickelodeon to create an expanding universe where it was also considered an innovative approach to creating an IP for video games seamlessly with and into television. So, with that all aside, let's get into these games and how they play. These games just bring back some serious memories from the way that the puzzles work, the platforming, the challenges, and the charm. Granted, it's not perfect, but what it brings is a nice set of controls, even for the first game, which is always a hit or miss. With other titles, it works here. The movement is nice, the jumping and attacks are pretty fluid. The platforming segments are really nice and not too wild and crazy, meaning nothing that seems unfair, but it offers some jumps that have a little bit more reward if you can meet the challenge. In other words, if you can find a way to get to certain parts of the map, you'll find a altering path. And not just that, you can fight a swarm of enemies and it feels as it should, like a challenge depending on the number, and with enough utility to handle business. It doesn't feel unfair. A lot of the boss battles you encounter are mildly puzzle infused. This way it keeps the boss battles interesting, and not just that, the dynamics can change. A lot of what you will face are things like specters, guardians, plushies, and monsters typically. Then you also have the Juju potions. You get recipe cards, and you can create recipes to enhance your magic. And in the second game, they ramp it up by giving you a whole menu where you can input your own recipes, and if you're old school, and you had a code book or relied on IGN for some recipe notes. The biggest challenge you will face is the camera. you'll have to get used to the invert camera scheme, and sometimes it just doesn't have your best interest. It's a little slow moving, but it doesn't hinder you all the time. That's also not a big deal once you're used to the inverted camera control. Other than that, the game still feels good to play. The attacks feel good to pull off, and the jumps are nice. Also, in the first game, you'd have to get item pickups to throw things. However, in the second game, it's shown that attack harnessed the power of the Juju and the Poopanunu people's magic in order to charge attacks and to create throwables, so that's nice. Granted, of the two games, the second is my favorite and is the one I played the most of, being over and over again. I remember spending so much time playing and replaying this game and really exploring the game for all the recipes and what else it had to offer. And besides that, for the story, the first game is simple enough. The Poopanunu people have been transformed into sheep by the evil shaman Tlaloc. Has also stolen the moonstones. You play as Tak, obviously, whose mentor, being Jabolba, sends him on a journey to turn the sheep back into people that they once were, especially Loke, because he was destined to be the great warrior, and it turns out that Tak is the warrior that was destined to take Tlaloc down. In the second game, Tak is trapped in the dream world. Look and Jabolba work hard to wake Tak up, but Tak has to take down the Dream Guardian whenever he sleeps, so this way he can escape the dream world and rescue a princess, which he's not really interested in. And guess who is behind this? Tlaloc. Yeah, that was easy to figure out. The Great Staff of Time has split into two parts: the Staff of Nightmares, which Tlaloc has, and the Dream Shaker, which Tak has. And this is why the darkness is able to come back once again, is because it's split. But I don't want to give out all the details of the story because the games are really good. And if you haven't played these games, you should give them a go. I mean, it's a lot of fun. If you like platforming games or adventure games, then this will be right up your alley, and it's something different and it's got its own style. So, I hope you all enjoy this video, and if you've played the game, I hope you enjoyed the games. I want to thank you all for watching. I appreciate you all, and 1K gang, let's go.
Great. My dear.
I need helpful ideas, Locke, about waking Tak up.
Right.